some of the evidence demonstrated that thoughts are not only things, but things that affect other things, and that our thoughts are essentially trespassers that can go out and affect things in the world. So I wanted to find out how much we could do with that. How far can we take this? Are we talking about just a tiny little effect, like moving a quantum particle, or are we talking about curing cancer, or putting out fires, or ending violence with our thoughts? So consider it a secular prayer. So people come to intention no matter what the religion is, whether they have a religion, but they realize this is a very specific, focused request to the universe. You bring it down to your heart, because it's not really sent from your head, it's sent from your heart. So people go into a heart sense when they're sending intention, and they focus on the recipient, and the recipient just opens up their heart to receive.
When you talk about people that have healed themselves, how has that happened? What is the process to heal ourselves?
Well, that's something I ended up getting into, because I was very interested in how some of the evidence demonstrated that thoughts are not only things, but things that affect other things, and that our thoughts are essentially trespassers that can go out and affect things in the world. So I wanted to find out how much we could do with that. How far can we take this? Are we talking about just a tiny little effect, like moving a quantum particle, or are we talking about curing cancer, or putting out fires, or ending violence with our thoughts? So I decided to test this. I have a background as an investigative reporter, so I like proof and evidence. And so I, by that time, knew lots of scientists in consciousness research, and I also had a load of readers, because the field was in about 30 languages. So I thought if I just put them together, I'll have the greatest global laboratory in the world. So that's what I did, and I started a thing called the intention experiment, which would go like this. Every so often, one of these scientists would set up a well-controlled study in their laboratory, and then I would invite my readers around the world to send one particular intention to that target. And I wasn't sure it was going to work. I was pretty sure it wasn't going to work, but it really worked. It really worked. We've run 29 of these experiments to date, everything from trying to make seeds grow faster, to purifying water with our thoughts, to lowering violence in war-torn areas, to even healing people of post-traumatic stress disorder. And of those we've done 33. Of those 33, 29 have shown measurable, positive, mostly significant effects. So there are very few things out there, certainly not many pharmaceutical drugs, that have that kind of consistent track record. So I was very interested in this, but I also wanted to scale it down. And I wondered what would happen if I put, just a smaller group together, and how could we do this? So I wasn't really sure how to do it. I wanted to do that in a workshop setting. So I was just kicking around the idea with my husband one day, and I just said, I don't know, maybe I'll put them in groups of 8 or so and have them send intention to someone with a health challenge. And my husband, who's a great headline writer, said, I love that, the power of 8. And that's how it started. We just put people in groups of 8 or so in this first workshop. We didn't expect there to be much more than a feel-good effect, feel like, maybe a little relaxation or a little meditation, or a bit like having a back massage. But that's not what happened. A number of people the next day who had been the recipients came forward to talk about what their experiences were. And they said things like this: I am scheduled for a knee replacement and my knee feels normal now.
Wow.
I have terrible depression and it's lifted. I have IBS, but my stomach feels normal. I have cataracts and they're 80% better. And on and on and on, it went like that. And so we were shocked,
Mm.
really, really uh, almost unhinged by this, not really sure what was going on. I just assumed it was a placebo effect until I saw that loads of people were having the same effect who were the senders as well. So I began testing this more and more and more. I've run thousands of groups to date and found that there is an extraordinary power in small group intention
Mm.
that works on many, many levels.
Are we talking about meditation with visualization or prayer?
Well, this is, first of all, not meditation.
Okay.
Meditation is a sense of quiet, of going into yourself. This is a highly focused intention on something outside of yourself. You're focusing on someone else if you're the sender. It's not about you. If it's a group, if it's about you, they're sending it to you and you're just receiving it as though you're getting prayer. If you're sending it to someone else or something else, that's what your intention is. It's out of you and not about you. So consider it a secular prayer. So people come to intention no matter what the religion is, whether they have a religion, but they realize this is a very specific, focused request to the universe.
Wow, that is beautiful. Can you explain the importance of feelings in the intention experiment?
Well, emotion and feeling and heart is very important. Now, as I say, I teach in various classes that I do about intention, beginners and advanced classes, and I have a year-long intention masterclass that I run. And in these classes, I explain to people that they need to be highly focused. This is not a relaxed state, as I say, of meditation. This is a state of focus, high degree of focus. But once you've worked out your intention statement together as a group, you bring it down to your heart because it's not really sent from your head, it's sent from your heart. So people go into a heart sense when they're sending intention and they focus on the recipient, and the recipient just opens up their heart to receive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And here's the most interesting part about it. I mean, we've done brainwave, many, many studies of intention with the scientists, and a brainwave study working with Life University, which is the largest chiropractic university in the world. And they put their neuroscience department at my disposal, and we studied what was happening with groups of 8. We had 7 groups of volunteers who were these intention groups, and we put an EEG cap on each one of the, or a person in each group. And we quickly found that the people setting intention, and this was consistent across the groups, very quickly had a situation where certain parts of the brain were turned way down. And they were the parts of the brain involved with feeling separate, like the parietal lobes that sit right here. They just help us distinguish between what's me and what's not me. And they were dialed way down. But so were the parts of the brain, like the right frontal lobes, involved with worry, doubt, negativity. They were also turned way down. So these are people who are in a state of ecstatic oneness. The brainwave signatures we recorded looked nothing like meditation, which was surprising to us. They looked much, much more like the brainwave signatures recorded in Sufi masters during chanting or Buddhist monks during ecstatic prayer. These are people in a mystical state of oneness. So the emotion, aside from it being heart emotion, is also an emotion of getting off of yourself, of feeling oneness with the others.